Over a year ago, I took an in-depth look at Sly 2's tutorial. I used mods and other tools, and I was able to go out of bounds, do all sorts of crazy things, and it was one of my favorite videos to film. You guys also seem to really like that video, so I figured I'd do the same thing today with Sly 3, which arguably has a way bigger and better tutorial. Kane Island is both Sly 3's tutorial level and final level of the game. Today, I'm going to be looking at the tutorial part of it during that first mission. So, in this video, I'm going to make it my job to completely break the game. We're going to go out of bounds, we're going to sequence break, we're going to mess with characters and cutscenes, just everything that I can figure out. Probably my favorite thing that I did in this footage was interact with the elephant guards. Look, Kane Island, like all the other levels in the game, have 3 different types of guards. The thing is, they're quote-unquote flashlight guard for this level, the elephant guards, you don't normally interact with in any of the missions. Even in this tutorial, they're just kind of decoration. They're just kind of there to do things in cutscenes. So when you get close to them and you go out of bounds, they don't really do anything. They don't attack you. They're not really programmed to. You can't attack them, unlike the pig guards in Sly 2 though, which makes it a little bit more interesting. One thing I've always wanted to do, even before I went to record this video, was interact with Dimitri. Now, we obviously know this is Dimitri in the tutorial. Maybe when you first played the game, you might not know that, but I tried to get out of bounds, and it was damn near impossible. Look, I know I do a lot in Sly 2 in terms of getting out of bounds, but Sly 3 is locked pretty damn tight. It's very hard to get into certain areas, and that's mainly because there's a lot of death barriers, just damage barriers in general, and Dimitri himself is surrounded by water. But what I can do is explore the rest of this lab. Now, normally we don't really interact with this lab much. It's just kind of in the background. Here there's lasers everywhere, so you're not going to get down there to walk around, and then when you come back later, it's flooded with water. And the game really doesn't want you down here. Once I actually figured out how to do it, the camera just went absolutely berserk. I mean, I could never get like a really nice shot at anything because the camera would just flip randomly all of a sudden. When I looked out of the glass window, that was the only time I really got to see a decent look at it, but even then it's not great. Moving over to where Dr. M meets Richard and poisons him, or I guess poisoned him earlier, I interrupted the cutscene, walked down there to interact with them, and they kind of just stood there, which was cool. I was able to move them around a little bit. I can't do any damage to them, unfortunately. And that's really all that I was able to do there, because as soon as I went on top of the elevator, I reset their location and started the cutscene. I was hoping to play the cutscene with them still down in the lab, but I wasn't able to. At the very end of the tutorial during this, quote-unquote boss fight, I did a little bit of exploring, got behind him, which was fun because Sly is nowhere to be seen and he's still kind of attacking the ground. I also reloaded the level as Bentley, and we reload still in the monster's hand, just getting swung around. We have a health meter this time around. That's about it. None of the buttons said I pressed did anything. But I can move the camera as well, so that's something. Also, if you ever wanted to see what the inside of the Cooper Vault looks like, don't play the Gauntlet mission at the end of the game. Here you go. I got you. That's what it looks like. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to do in the tutorial. I'm sure getting out of bounds and doing other glitches during the actual episode where you have multiple missions is probably a little bit more interesting. When it comes to the tutorial, that's about all that I found. Now, there's still a lot of exploration to do out of bounds because this level is fucking massive. I don't get it. Like, I mean, it's great. Like, thank you, Sucker Punch, this is awesome. But the fact that we just can't even free roam in here most of the time is just strange considering the scope of this level, dude. I mean, it's awesome, we were able to figure it out, and you can do this in the base game. I'll have like videos in the description by other people to show you how to do it. This was more of a showcase video, but I just can't believe that this was kind of underutilized. Not only that, but there's also, I mean, you're not supposed to be out of bounds, so there's a lot of damage barriers just laying around that prevent you from advancing. Those were there just so that you can't sequence break the tutorial and some of the missions. So that kind of sucks. I mean, it's fun, but there's some drawbacks to it.